Hey everyone, my name is Justin.
And I'm Eddie,
Welcome to the Queer Network.
and this is Queer Talk.
That was it. Ta-da! I had to fix one of my nails.
Oh, Jesus.
Came off during my shift on Saturday, and I hadn't fixed it yet. And I figured this is the perfect time because I'm just sitting here and I can let them dry.
Well.
Well.
Welcome to you. Welcome to everyone to our weekly Queer Talk.
Queer talk. Queer of the talk. We love to queer talk.
How you doing?
We're both wearing queer shirts. I'm going to feature this gorgeous limp wrist.
Oh, right.
I had a painting that I got that is similar to this, but then at the bar last week, and then you're wearing your Queer Network shirt. Love it. This guy was wearing this shirt whom I actually knew from Toronto. And then we had a moment of remembering that we knew each other. And then I saw the shirt and I was like, oh my God, it's gorgeous. And he owns the company that makes these shirts. So he just sent me the link and I just bought a white one and a black one. This one I'm going to keep as a regular t-shirt, and the other one I'll make into a crop for the bar. I might even bedazzle some of the nails on the.
Of course you will. Because you're a bedazzler.
Thank you very much.
You are a bedazzler. I remember on episode you showing that limp wrist, but what's the context again?
Well, I mean, it was just I found it on Instagram, and then to me,
right.
The reclamation of this position being, it's like, fuck you. You can have a limp wrist if you want to. But as a kid, that idea was always very like, you're not masculine, you're not strong, you're blah, blah,
blah. So let's get to it. What are we talking about today?
Well, I last week was a bit sick. Yeah, it was rough. Sort of a flu, bug, stomach. I don't even know, but it was also, I think, a reminder to slow down. And I love what I get to do in New York and the life that I live. But there is something about pace and what's the word I'm looking for? Endurance. Like you'll burn out if you're doing too much all the time. And this is a big lesson. This is a big life lesson for me, because I have willed my way into doing a lot of things all at the same time. And
the gist of this is your body tells you.
Yeah, immediately.
Your body tells you because you get sick.
Yeah.
Or you sick in different ways. You purge through your
I did purge
digestive system. Or your body just says, no, you have to slow down. And I know you have a story to tell about that, because I said to you that I wanted you to, this has to do with the mind, how powerful the mind is. But just as a little example of what I just said, I remember when I used to be a meeting planner, incentive travel organizer. I would organize big events. And I remember, and it was just me. And I remember, like, I couldn't get sick. Like, there was just no option to get sick.
Yeah.
And many times, I would go through it, and then right after I would get sick, because my mind would not allow my body to get sick. And that's how powerful the mind is. So give your example of what I'm talking about.
So I love that you brought that up, because last week, about Tuesday night, Wednesday, I couldn't do anything. Like, I had to cancel everything on Wednesday. And that is when I know, for me, like, I'm a strong person and I have a strong will and a strong mind, but there was no convincing my body that this was going to carry on any longer. Like and that's when I know it's about you're too busy. Like you're just trying to do too much, because what stopped me was that my body could not, even with my mind's willpower. Now, that being said, I rested all day Wednesday. I knew I had a photo shoot on Thursday morning that I was not going to cancel because it had been in the books for a month. And I knew it was only going to be a quick photo shoot. It was walking distance to my place. And so already on Wednesday, I had like geared up in my mind, even though my body was like not able to get out of bed, that I was going to go to this photo shoot. And I bring this up because this is, as you said, there's a lot of power in the mind, because in the end, I did go to the photo shoot, but it was a mind game the whole morning. Even when I was preparing to get up to go, there were many times where I could have just been like, no, I just can't do it. But I willed it through with my mind, but I did it in a way that was very slow, very gentle, because I knew my body, like I was walking like half the pace I normally walk, because I just actually couldn't walk faster. And even when I got there, I was just very like calm, chill, and I knew the photo shoot wasn't going to be aggressive. So all these things made it a little easier. And then after, I actually felt pretty good, but I also was still dealing with digestion problems, because based on what we've talked about even in these last couple episodes, I think it's clear that I'm not only purging physical things, but purging emotional and psychological behaviors, things that don't serve me anymore, that I am letting move through me, so I can move into the next phase of life. I've even talked about it on my birthday episode. I just feel like 35 was a turning point for me. And it was interesting to experience this, like, yes, you can will it with your mind, but I'm still coming off of that feeling sick. Like I'm not at 100% yet. And so I've had to stay slow, not keep adding more things to the plate. And it's just made me realize that once again, I don't actually want to be this busy. It's not how I want to live my life anymore. But I understand where it comes from.
But yes, and that's you. But some people, have no choice but to be as busy as they are, because for various reasons, supporting a
Right.
family or paying the bills or whatever. I think, you know, yes, we can will ourselves, to do things, but what you're saying is at the same time, we still have to listen to our body.
Yeah.
And if our body is saying stay in bed, then you stay in bed.
Yeah.
What we're just saying is how, like, I think this also can be like, to me, this is all about, and it's a very simple episode. It's about the power of the mind. And it is about, another example would be just like saying, when you saying you can or can't do something. If you say you can't do something, you're not going to do it, because
Exactly.
that's what you're telling your mind. But if you say you can, no, I can do this. I mean, we've talked about Joe Dispenza in the past, and this what he's all about. I have this on a
Oh yeah.
I've laminated it. How I think and how I feel creates my reality. Where I put my attention is where I put my energy. Right? So where you put your attention, that's basically where you put your mind. What you're telling your mind to do, whatever that's going to create an energy, and that's what you're going to get, right? So me, I like to keep things simple. And
yeah, I think this is where we can conclude this little conversation about the mind and body, with the idea that they are here to work together. But we have been convinced in a world that your mind supersedes everything, because it's an amazing tool. Like, it's like unbelievable what it can all retain and remember and help you with in your life. But let's not forget what the body also tells you, and that it actually is the mind is one thing, but the body actually has several different brains: digestion, the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system. Like, there's so many systems in place in the body that are just as powerful and just as important as the mind in itself. So I think that what we're really getting at here is that, yes, the mind is powerful and it can override the body sometimes, but only to a point. And then you need to listen to the body. And then eventually the body will just tell you, you have to stop. Like, some disease, something will stop you, some injury, whatever it is. And then you get a moment to reflect, how do I want to change the trajectory from this point forward, knowing, for me, myself, this is what I get to do right now, is how can I do less? And as we all live in a world where we have to make money and still make enough money to live happily. That's usually what it comes down to, because that's the base of how we live in this world right now, is, do you have enough money to live? It sucks in a way, but that's actually a part of the conversation. It has to be.
Yeah. I'll give you an example too of how powerful the mind is and will. 2 years ago, I was in Puerto Vallarta and I was on a hike, and I had to climb this rock face, and there was a rope, and then we had to hold on to tree limbs, and maybe little places in the rock where you could put your feet. Going up was not a problem. Got up to the top, and then I had to come down. But I got halfway across the rock face and I panicked. And I could not go forward. I could not go back. I thought the only way was down, and down was death, because down was rocks and water. And I remember, and I started to cry. And the friend that I was with, he was saying, come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And I had no choice. I mean, yeah, I had a choice. I could die, or I had to continue. So that's just an example again of the mind. Like, I did it. I accomplished it with a whole bunch of fear. But it's like when somebody, you hear and you see, like, somebody's like gets, under a car tire or something, and you have to, the person has to lift up the car to get the person, and they can do it. Like, how is it they can do that? Because it's the power of the mind. And when you're in that situation,
I think, to wrap it up, like, the mind and the body are very much a part of this physical experience that we live on the earth. The spiritual side of the spirit of our life is what connects us to, like, something that's greater, whatever you believe that to be. And we've talked about that a lot on the podcast. So, that will be a continued conversation in another episode. But I think, base level, the body's here you're here to work with your body, and it's always talking to you. But you do have to get still enough sometimes to listen to it. And if you don't, something will happen in order for you to listen.
Yep.
And that's what happened to me last week. And so I get to decide how I want to adjust, course correct.
Exactly.
Carry on, keep calm and carry on.
So from the power of our queer minds to the power of your queer minds, thank you for watching. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. And just remember, it's always important, because it's an act of, it's God's work. It's an act of politics. It's an act of activism. That doesn't make sense, but you get what I'm saying. Keep it queer.
Wow, I was wondering where you were going.
I know. I was trying to keep it like, what's he gonna say? Yes, keep it queer, because that is what we're here to do.
Exactly. All right.
Love y'all.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.